Think about the last time you bought something online, or went grocery shopping, or, well, did anything that involves physical goods. Chances are, a truck was involved somewhere along the way. Trucking is the lifeblood of our economy, ensuring that goods get from point A to point B, no matter how many Z's are in between. It's a massive industry, employing millions of people and generating billions in revenue. Yet, the people behind the wheel, the ones who keep this vital system moving, are facing a growing crisis. Here's the kicker. Trucking is facing a severe driver shortage. You'd think that with fewer drivers to go around, wages would skyrocket, right? Wrong. Despite the demand, trucker pay has remained relatively stagnant for years. This discrepancy between supply and demand is a head-scratcher, and it boils down to a complex web of factors. One major issue is deregulation. Back in the 1980s, the trucking industry was deregulated, leading to increased competition. While this might sound good in theory, it's led to a race to the bottom, with companies cutting corners on wages and benefits to offer lower shipping rates. Another factor squeezing truckers is the ever-tightening noose of emissions regulations. These regulations are designed to reduce the harmful pollutants that trucks emit, aiming to create a healthier environment for everyone. However, the implementation of these rules is not without its challenges. We all want cleaner air, and the trucking industry is making strides to reduce its environmental impact. The push for greener technology has led to the development of trucks that are more fuel efficient and produce fewer emissions. This is a positive step forward for the environment, but it comes with significant financial implications for those in the industry. But these new, cleaner-burning trucks come with a hefty price tag. The advanced technology and engineering that go into making these trucks environmentally friendly also make them more expensive to produce and purchase. For many truckers, the cost of upgrading to a new emissions-compliant vehicle can be overwhelming. Not only are the trucks themselves more expensive, but they also require specialized maintenance that can drain a trucker's wallet faster than a runaway diesel spill. The new technology often means that repairs and upkeep are more complex and costly, adding another layer of financial strain. Imagine you're a trucker who's been driving for years, relying on your trusty old rig to put food on the table. Your old truck has been a reliable workhorse, and you've grown accustomed to its quirks and maintenance needs. But now, the pressure to upgrade is mounting. Now, you're being told you need to upgrade to a new, emissions-compliant truck that costs as much as a small house. The sticker shock alone is enough to make any seasoned trucker pause. The financial burden of purchasing a new truck, coupled with the ongoing costs of maintenance and repairs, can be daunting. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when the added costs are often passed down to the drivers themselves. Many truckers operate as independent contractors, meaning they bear the brunt of these expenses. The financial strain can be immense, leading to difficult decisions about whether to continue in the industry or seek alternative employment. Balancing the need for cleaner air with the economic realities faced by truckers is a complex and costly act. Let's talk about maintenance. Trucks are complex machines, and keeping them in tip-top shape is crucial for both safety and efficiency. But the cost of maintenance has skyrocketed in recent years. Parts are more expensive, labor costs are up, and the specialized equipment needed to service modern trucks doesn't come cheap. For truckers, unexpected breakdowns can be financially devastating. Every day a truck is in the shop is a day they're not earning money. And when you factor in the high cost of towing, repairs, and lost wages, a single breakdown can wipe out weeks or even months of income. Section 5. Real stories, real struggles. Truckers speak out. In this segment, we dive deep into the lives of those who keep our economy moving, the truckers. Their stories are a testament to resilience and dedication. Don't just take our word for it. The real insights come from the men and women who live this life every day, facing challenges head-on. Let's hear from the people on the front lines. These are the voices that often go unheard, but today, they take center stage. Meet Bob, a veteran trucker who's been hauling freight for over 20 years. Bob's journey is filled with countless miles, numerous stories, and a deep love for the open road. Bob's seen it all, from the deregulation of the 80s to the rise of e-commerce. The industry has transformed dramatically, and Bob has adapted with it. He's proud of the work he does, but he's worried about the future of his profession. The road ahead seems uncertain, and the challenges are mounting. It's getting harder and harder to make a living out here, Bob says. The financial strain is palpable, and the stress is ever present. The pay isn't keeping up with the cost of living, and the expenses just keep piling up. Fuel prices, maintenance costs, and other expenses are eating into their earnings. I used to be able to support my family comfortably, but now I'm constantly worried about making ends meet. The pressure to provide is immense, and the sacrifices are many. Bob's story is not unique. It's a shared experience among many truckers who are grappling with similar issues. Thousands of truckers across the country are facing similar struggles. The industry is at a crossroads, and the voices of these truckers need to be heard. They're working longer hours, taking on more risk, and sacrificing time with their families, all for a paycheck that barely covers the bills. The toll on their personal lives is significant, and the future remains uncertain. But there's hope. Truckers are coming together, advocating for better conditions, and pushing for change. Their unity and determination are paving the way for a brighter future. Together, they are stronger. By sharing their stories and standing united, they are making strides towards a more sustainable and fair industry. The road may be tough, but with solidarity, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Section 6. Fueling the problem. The impact of rising diesel costs. Let's not forget about fuel. Diesel is the lifeblood of the trucking industry, and its price is notoriously volatile. In recent years, diesel prices have been on a roller coaster ride, reaching record highs and putting a major strain on truckers' budgets. Imagine filling up your tank, only to see the price jump by $1 or $2 overnight. That's the reality for truckers, who often have to fuel up multiple times a week, each fill-up costing hundreds of dollars. Section 7. Detention time. The unpaid hours eating into drivers' wages. Here's a hidden cost most people don't consider: detention time. Truckers often spend hours, sometimes even days, waiting to load or unload their cargo. This waiting time is rarely compensated, eating into drivers' already tight earnings. Imagine being stuck at a loading dock for 10 long hours, unable to leave, and not getting paid a dime for your time. It's a frustrating and unfair reality for many truckers. Section 8. Respect and recognition. The human cost of trucking. Beyond the financial challenges, there's a human cost to trucking that's often overlooked. Truckers spend days, weeks, even months on the road, away from their families and loved ones. They miss birthdays, holidays, and school plays, all to keep the supply chain moving. They face grueling schedules, long hours, and the constant pressure to meet deadlines. They battle traffic, bad weather, and the occasional rogue mattress on the highway. And yet they often feel invisible, their contributions to society taken for granted. Section 9. Toward a brighter future. Potential solutions for fairer trucking. So, what can be done to improve the situation for truck drivers? The trucking industry is the backbone of our economy, yet the drivers who keep it moving often face numerous challenges. For starters, we need to address the issue of stagnant wages. Many truck drivers have seen their pay remain flat while the cost of living continues to rise. This could involve increasing minimum pay rates for truckers, ensuring that their hard work is fairly compensated. Establishing industry-wide standards for compensation is another crucial step. This would help create a more level playing field and ensure that all drivers are paid fairly, regardless of the company they work for. Additionally, exploring alternative pay models that reward drivers for their time and experience rather than just miles driven could make a significant difference. This would recognize the value of their expertise and the time they spend on the road. We also need to find ways to mitigate the impact of rising costs. The cost of fuel, maintenance, and other expenses can eat into a driver's earnings. Whether it's through fuel subsidies, tax breaks for truckers, or other financial support, these measures can help alleviate some of the financial burdens that drivers face. Incentives for companies to invest in fuel-efficient technologies can also play a role. By reducing fuel consumption, these technologies can help lower costs and improve the environmental impact of trucking. And let's not forget about detention time. Drivers often spend hours waiting at loading docks without compensation, which can be incredibly frustrating and financially draining. Implementing policies that compensate drivers for excessive wait times would go a long way in improving their earnings and quality of life. This would ensure that their time is valued and that they are fairly compensated for all the hours they work. By addressing these issues, we can create a fairer and more sustainable trucking industry. One where drivers are respected, fairly compensated, and able to enjoy a better quality of life. Section 10. Call to action. Supporting truck drivers. Supporting ourselves. The next time you see a truck on the road, take a moment to appreciate the person behind the wheel. They're not just driving a truck, they're hauling the weight of our economy on their shoulders. It's time we start treating them with the respect and dignity they deserve. Support policies that improve working conditions for truckers. Patronize companies that prioritize fair wages and treatment of their drivers. And most importantly, spread the word. The more people understand the challenges faced by truck drivers, the more likely we are to find solutions that work for everyone. After all, when truckers thrive, we all thrive.